So, in consonance with what Steve was saying about the holiday on Monday, which is Juneteenth, which transitioned me to my thought of the day, which is it's titled "Out of Many Races, We Are All Equal."
Amen.
Right. So I remember 8th grade, which was the year '95, I believe. No, yeah, something like that.
90-ish.
Yeah, 90s. Me and two other classmates with our class, we had an essay assignment, but it was a national essay assignment in which we was entered into a contest with Disney. And the prompt that the teacher gave us was, if we were to create a school, what would we teach and how would we teach it? And so I had another classmate named Jamar and another classmate. We were all friends named Juan. And so we thought about a class, as young teenagers in middle school, like if we were to create a school, what would we teach? And so at a young age, we understood the importance of equality. At this age, we were kind of impressed by, what we learned in history class and about the Constitution, about everything that this country was built on, equality, justice for all. So we created a school based on that. The title was "Out of Many Races, We're All Equal." And we each did a paragraph. And, I remember in the paragraph that I wrote, I talked about a lot of things that Martin Luther King talked about, which is that, we're all, born, and should be treated equal. And, I quoted some stuff from Dr. Martin Luther King. Long story short, we submitted our essay, went to the national level. Some people from Disney came out and interviewed us. We won, right? So we won this national contest. Yeah, give it up.
Yeah.
So the cool trip about this contest by Disney is we flew out to San Francisco and we met the mayor at the time of San Francisco, Willie Brown. We were part of this press conference at the Disney store. From there we went to DC and we met some representatives from DC, all this cool stuff. And then the tip of the iceberg was we went to France and we get to Disneyland Paris. And we participated in this youth summit, and we were in the summit with kids from all over the country, and it was nice to see at a young age, and obviously great to reflect back on as an adult. But the one thing that stood out is that at that time in the '90s, we were amongst youth from across the world, and they shared a lot of the ideals that were impressed in us. Some kids coming from South Central LA. Dealing with poverty and gangs and inequality, across the country, they were kind of having their own issues as well. So fast forward to 2012, now I'm in prison, I'm a gang member in prison, and I got caught I remember getting caught, kind of swept up under the governor's, out-of-state transfer, so I'm sitting in prison in Arizona. I don't know if anybody kind of dealt with that here. I was at Red Rock, and I remember June 19th, they do selfies, so they bring the dinner to our cells, and on this particular day, we had barbecue chicken and ribs, and that's the best meal I've ever seen in prison, right? So I'm thinking, man, what's going on? They're like, it was Juneteenth. I'm like, Juneteenth? What is Juneteenth? Now, mind you, this was 2012. And they like, oh, it's the day they freed the slaves. I'm thinking, damn. Like, I never heard of this. Like, Juneteenth, are you serious? Like, I never heard of it. When you think about, freedom, you think about July 4th, 1776. And, I didn't really put too much thought in it, but I just thought it was a trip because it was something that was foreign to me. And I paroled 2015, through Homeboys and, pathways to college. I'm able to enroll in college and do more extensive studies and classes and understand the true significance of Juneteenth, which marks the day that it became official in the state of Texas because of lack of transportation. That it was acknowledged that Black people, African Americans, were no longer legally part of slavery. 2 years after emancipation, correct? Which is the difference in days. The reason why I bring all of this up is because, as we all know, we've all, and today, understand slavery is morphed into mass incarceration, right? We've all kind of had our own experience with modern day slavery, which is why it's important a day such as Sunday, Juneteenth, not just to acknowledge and be happy that it's a day where we here in our Homeboy community that we don't have to, we don't have to come into work. It's a paid holiday, things like that. But also to reflect on our own, not only as Black people, but also as a community of color and as a community that stand on the margins with us, the true significance of Juneteenth. When we look at it at the large scale, which is the need and the call, to end, modern day slavery, which is morphed into systemic racism and racial oppression, and the ways in which the system, unfortunately, has targeted Black and brown people, and then continue to incarcerate us and fill these prison beds for the sake of continuing to profit off of us, if that makes sense. Today in 2022, we're a generation of being informed. They say it's woke. I compare it to the age of enlightenment. When you know better, you do better, right? So as I, kind of conclude my message, I just want to just kind of provide that information and encourage everyone here to reflect, just kind of look at Sunday not only being a day of acknowledgement for Juneteenth. Shout out to the fathers too. Happy Father's Day to everybody as well. You know what I'm saying? Also shout out to the mothers here who wear the hats of fathers. For so with that, I want to end with a quote from Father G. Father G was very instrumental 2 years ago in making sure that Juneteenth becomes a part of the culture and community here at Homeboys. And it kind of fell, it kind of rested on a lot of the stuff that was happening, 2 years ago in the summer, if you guys remember, after George Floyd was killed and we had the pandemic and so many things going on. So I just wanted to, share this with you all, just in case you weren't aware of how Father G, stands with our community and all communities, standing on the margin. Juneteenth is a day in which we commemorate the end of slavery. Since 1865, the Emancipation Proclamation has been remembered and celebrated. Today, as we stand with Black Lives Matter, we want to declare this day as an observed holiday for our Homeboy community. We aspire in the beloved community of Homeboy to be an anti-racist organization and more stand against the untruth of inferiority and supremacy of people. We are clear-eyed that we commemorate this day. We fully acknowledge the bondage of mass incarceration and insidious slavery felt in the disparities of the economy, healthcare, education, and housing. Slavery has not ended, but morphed into a pervasive mode of inequity and injustice deeply felt in every aspect of our living. We invite on this day a reflection that deepens our kinship with each other and strengthens our resolve to live differently than before. Thank you.
Give it up for Lami.